You know, the drum, I think for us is the first language, you know, that's how our ancestors used to send message, you know. When you do anything in Africa, drum is very important. When a new baby is born, when someone passes away, you know, when there's a good rain harvest, when it's not raining, when we need to talk to the ancestors, drum is the only way we use to communicate. You know, drums send message far before technology. You know, drums used to send message from village to village. So if something happened and you want to send message across, you use the drum. You know, yeah, that's all I can say about it, really.
Yeah. And do you think by drumming, African culture is still alive?
Absolutely. You know, along the lines of what my brother Lucky just said, you know, the drum is a signal for the heartbeat. It's a rhythm of the universe and life as we know it. You know, it really reminds us, takes us back to our roots and really connects us with nature and earth and ourselves and each other. You know, the same heart in mine beating in my chest, the same heart in his chest is the same heart in everyone's chest. That's what connects us all. And that beat is what we like to use the drums to remind us all about. So that's why my contribution to what I think the drums is keeping our culture, Africa, alive in its all.
What do you say to those people who sort of don't want anything to do with Africa anymore?
I mean, it's very dangerous because, I mean, what is your identity? You know, if you can't speak your language, if you don't, if you have no history of who your ancestors are, how are you going to be proud in your own self? I think as Africans, right from when we were born, a lot of the things that we've been taught about Africa or what has been written about Africa is actually from outside. So for us now, we're having the agency that, oh, okay, so we need to go back to the root. And going back to the root is actually going back to understand how we got here, who are our great-great-great-grandfathers, you know, who are our ancestors, what are the things that are missing so we can recollect it back. So we have a big job to do because, you know, we are relearning a lot of the things that have been taught us about Africa. And now because internet is so open, you know, we can actually, it's easy to go and do our own research. So I think we got a big job to do, and for me, my advice is let all hold on to our culture. And drums and the songs and the music and the dance and the costume and the fabric are one of the only things that we can go and trace. Through them we can trace, because everything is lost except these things, you know.
Oh, brother, you blow my way, man.
Honestly, to put what he's just said in a short sentence, a wise man once said, you don't know where you're going if you don't know where you came from. That's basically what he just broke down in depth. You have to know your history, and you have a responsibility for the next generation, for the future generation, to use these things that we have to bring it all back around, to keep it going as a cycle. That's nature.
My brother, I really thank you. Thank you so much. If there's anything there from your heart that you want people to hear, please be free. Say anything. Probably something to educate the new generation.
Yeah.
Something to correct the African men. Please say something, bro.
I mean, for me as an African man, I think I'm very proud in my own identity. I think if you look at history, you know, the African man has been the image has been damaged so much that for us even to represent ourselves is so hard. So people are not so confident in their own identity, in their own appearance. But I think how you dress, whatever you wear, if you try to fit into something, all nonsense. Because at the end of the day, we all have one duty, and one duty is to make sure our children, children understand where we come from and what is the real history, of Africa, which is, of Africa, which I think me myself, I'm still learning because I never grew up with a lot of these things. So, my advice is that let's go back home and relearn the history and the knowledge so we can be able to pass it on to the next generation.
Find joy and peace in every day. Find love, joy, and peace in everything you do. Do your research, find out who you are, and be proud of who you are.
Wow. The message you have is for the kids born outside Africa. What do you tell them?
I say personally, it should make no difference. It's about your heritage and your history. You start with your parents, and you go from there. It doesn't matter who your parents are or where they're from. Your job as their child is to know their history, which is your history, and embrace it as your own, and own it as a whole on both parts. That's what I can say.
Okay, my brother, I really thank you so much, my brother.
You're welcome.
Just your name, who are you, so people can find you.
Yeah, okay. So my name is Lucky Latte, and I am originally from Ghana, West Africa. I've been in Australia for the last 11 years. I'm a dancer, choreographer, and a visual artist. And I also have a company called the Lucky African Dance to promote African culture in Australia. So if people want to look me up on website Lucky African Dance or on Instagram as Lucky Latte, and they will see all the work we've been doing, which is really about relearning our own history as well every day, through our work.
I'm not really a commercial person, but you can find my Instagram, k.scratch. I'm a fitness and personal trainer, and I promote healthy living. So if you want and are interested, connect. Thank you.
Bless.
Yeah, guys, you just heard the powerful message from your brothers that are still keeping our culture going on. If you lose your culture, you have no identity. We are Africans. We need to keep our language. We need to keep our drums, our dance, our traditions. We don't have to embrace it. Other people tradition. You just heard the message of my brothers here. So, thank you so much. Just keep in touch with Reconnecting Africa.
Reconnecting Africa.
Subscribe and like
Bless.
and comment. Thank you, brother.